The Helio courier dove towards a large clear pool in the Porcupine River, banking to the right so Lance, in the passenger seat, could have a clear view of the fall chum salmon schooled up below. I slid across the rear passenger seat to look out the right rear window so I could see and count. We were so close to water and ground that I was a little scared, as were the salmon in the pool. They broke out of their schools, scattering, mainly upstream. I counted as quickly as I could. As we turned, the automatic leading-edge slats deployed with an unnerving bang to this inexperienced passenger. This was my first flight in a Helio, although I had heard Fred Anderson raving to other biologists what an improvement it was over flying surveys in a Super Cub. As we took another bend of the river, Bob, the pilot, quickly corrected from a left bank to a right bank, causing the 4 slats that gave this STOL, short takeoff and landing, plane its ability not to stall in slow flight, to pop in and out. At 500 feet, even though we were flying only 50 miles an hour, the gravel bars, water, and the spruce forest edge whizzed by at a frightening speed. I concentrated on counting the scattering chum salmon into my handheld tape recorder. Suddenly, Bob climbed, turned, studying a gravel bar out his window as it went past. His experienced hands retrimmed the controls from slow to normal flight. He looked over at Lance, saying something into the headset. Damn, wish the intercom system included 3 headsets. Lance turned his head back to me, shouting, "Tighten your seatbelt. We're going to land and get those carcasses." I had been busy watching living fish and had missed the gravel bar covered with salmon carcasses, which was really the reason I was with Lance, to help sample carcasses. Getting my first lesson in aerial salmon surveys was a bonus. Bob turned into a short final approach, throttled back, descended rapidly. From my window in the rear seat, it looked like we were setting down in the river. Adding a little power at the last moment, Bob gently set the plane down on the gravel bar. Then I thought we must be coming apart until I realized it was just the noise of the wheels throwing gravel on the aluminum skin of the plane. Wow, now that's a real bush plane landing. Never did that before. The bar wasn't as flat as it looked, and our rollout stopped at the top of its highest point. The river looked awfully close as I climbed out of the plane with our sampling kit. I looked at Bob and said, "Nice landing." I couldn't decide if it was a full stall or wheel landing. Couriers can't do full stall. They can't stall, so they're all wheel landings. "Are you a pilot?" Bob asked. "I've soloed and have 20 hours, but finances haven't allowed finishing," I replied. "A common story," Bob said. "Flying is expensive." Lance said, "We're here to sample fish." "Okay, you want the forceps or the clipboard?" I said.